Kris Jenner, mother of the Kardashians, has recently had her entire life raided, looking into all of her old documents, her business deals, her conversations, and everything that she's partaken in the past 25 years. From this raid, they found some extremely interesting information regarding how she could have ties to Jeffrey Epstein, providing him with girls, potentially even her own daughters. We are going to be taking a look at all of this speculation and see if it holds any truth, and dive into all of the findings that's come out as of late. Some of the things you're about to see, I can guarantee you're not expecting. Let's dive in and see what was found.
Rayj just filed court documents claiming Kris Jenner personally set up the sex tape deal back in 2007. And the internet immediately asked one question. If she did that to her own daughter for money and fame, what else did she do?
Do you guys remember that tape? It's kind of what put Kim Kardashian on the map. That was when I first, as a young guy, heard about her. It was because of that tape. And apparently, Kris set that up.
And that question led straight to Jeffrey Epstein. Here is what you are going to get from this video. You are going to find out exactly what Rayj is claiming in court, and it is a lot more detailed than anything you have probably seen on your timeline. You are going to find out what Kim and Kris said under oath, and why Rayj's lawyer is now using the word perjury. You are going to find out about the Vivid Entertainment CEO, who is willing to testify against them. And then, you are going to see how the internet connected all of that to the Epstein files, and why the Kardashians cannot seem to shake those connections, no matter how many times they deny it. Now, before I start this video, know that I'm not going to explain who Kris Jenner is. As most of you might already know, she is mom to Kim Kardashian and her famous Kardashian sisters. So let's focus on the tape. Most people know the basics. In 2007, a freaky tape featuring Kim Kardashian and Rayj was released by a company called Vivid Entertainment. The official story was always that it leaked without Kim's knowledge. Kim sued, Vivid paid, and somehow the whole thing turned Kim into one of the most famous people on the planet. That was the version everyone accepted for almost 20 years.
I mean, honestly, until now, everyone thought, including myself, that this was the truth, that this wasn't supposed to come out. It was leaked. The lawsuit, everything just lined up as truth. But it seems that there's something much deeper behind it, and this was definitely something that was pre-orchestrated.
Rayj is now saying that story is completely made up. He filed legal documents claiming Kris Jenner personally introduced him to Stephen Hirsch, the CEO of Vivid Entertainment, and that all three of them planned the release together. He says they even planned a fake lawsuit so Kim could look like a victim, while the tape made them all money. According to Rayj, the entire thing was a business deal, and Kris Jenner was the one who put it together. Okay, so here is where things get really specific, and this is the part most outlets are glossing over. In October 2025, Kim and Kris actually sued Rayj first for defamation. They were not happy with the things he had been saying publicly. He had compared the Kardashians to Diddy on camera. He had used the word RICO. They wanted it to stop. That backfired. In November 2025, Rayj fired back with a countersuit, and in that countersuit, he got very specific. He said Kris Jenner personally connected him with Vivid Entertainment's CEO, Stephen Hirsch, back in 2007. He said the three of them, Kris, Kim, and Hirsch, worked out a deal together. And then he said the thing that really broke the internet. They planned a fake lawsuit against Vivid so the tape would look like it was released without consent, making Kim look like the victim, when actually, everyone involved knew exactly what was happening from the start. The whole leaked tape story? According to Rayj, that was the plan. And it is not like Rayj just started saying this. Back in September 2025, he went on a Twitch livestream and said out loud, "The federal RICO I am about to drop on Kris and Kim is about to be crazy." In May 2025, he told TMZ, "If you told me the Kardashians were being charged for racketeering, I might believe it. It is worse than Diddy." And his own mother, Sonia Norwood, posted publicly to back him up. She asked the question that a lot of people are still asking. If Kim and Kris did not collude to release that tape, then who did?
He said it's worse than Diddy. Now, Diddy is behind bars. We all know all of the things that Diddy was participating in and orchestrating himself. That's a very strong statement to say something like this whole Kardashian family is involved in something even bigger than what Diddy was involved in. And we could all sit here and wonder, is this something that's going to become more exposed with time?
On March 10th, 2026, Kim Kardashian filed a sworn declaration in Los Angeles Superior Court. Under oath, she said, his claim that she had a plan with her mother to release the tape, defraud the public, and file a fake lawsuit is a lie. She said her family is not part of a criminal enterprise and has not conducted racketeering activity. And then, and this part is actually kind of wild, she added that Ray J's claims are hurting her chances of becoming a lawyer. Kim Kardashian is studying for the California bar exam. She needs a clean record to pass. And right now, someone is publicly calling her a racketeering participant, under oath. On the same day, Kris Jenner filed her own sworn declaration. She said the allegation that she was in charge of commercial exploitation is absolutely false.
I'm really curious as to why Kim Kardashian would want to get her degree in law. Is she trying to have a better understanding of how to make sure that her and her family stay out from under the law? So she wants to be a lawyer to have deeper understanding? It's just very strange that she'd be doing this. Maybe she's just trying to better herself as a person. That very well could be. But someone that has as much money and as little time as Kim Kardashian, very strange that she'd be going to become a lawyer.
She said she did not ask, encourage, or help Kim film any tape. And then she said the notion that she orchestrated her daughter's tape has haunted her for decades. She said she's been in therapy because of what Ray J put her through. That word, haunted. She chose that word very carefully. 2 days later, on March 12th, Ray J's attorney Trey King responded. He kept it short. He said those statements were made under oath, and the mother-daughter duo flat out lied.
And I think what you see is that sometimes a tape will come to us and the person who's in it, the celebrity who's in it, will be upset about it, very upset about it. I think Kim is a perfect example. I mean, she went absolutely crazy.
Okay, so let's talk about the Kim Kardashian tape. Talk about the whole story about how you obtained it and what actually happened afterwards.
Well, it was brought to us by a third party. Ultimately, we were able to have a conversation with Kim after much back and forth and lots of legal stuff going on.
On March 14th, 2026, Ray J's legal team made an announcement that nobody in the Kardashian camp was ready for. Stephen Hirsch, the CEO of Vivid Entertainment, the man who physically released that tape in 2007, is willing to testify against Kim and Kris in open court under oath. Attorney Trey King made the stakes very clear. He said if Kim hopes to become a lawyer, making sworn statements that are not true could seriously backfire. He said she could face criminal perjury prosecution if it is proven she lied under oath. TMZ also broke down the legal reality. There is no way Vivid could have released that tape without both Ray J and Kim signing off. That part is actually not in dispute. The real question is how deep Kris was in the deal, and whether what she said in her declaration lines up with what Stephen Hirsch is prepared to say in court.
Paid her several $1 million. It was an amazing investment for us, and I think it worked out pretty good for her as well. But ultimately, yes, we need to get an agreement. I think what you see, the back and forth in the press, is what happens prior to that, when somehow a tape does leak or a tape is stolen.
As of April 2026, the case is still in motion in Los Angeles Superior Court.
And that's part of my question. How come 19 years after this tape has been released, it's now being brought up again? And is Ray J desperate for money and trying to sue and trying to get himself in a better financial position? Is he just trying to now exploit the Kardashians for crimes that they've been doing and for maybe not crimes, maybe that's a strong word, for ill doings that they've been participating in over the years? Or is it just something that's been ongoing for nearly the last 20 years?
A ruling on Ray J's dismissal motion is expected soon. If it gets dismissed, Kris and Kim are clear and the perjury accusations go away. If the case goes to trial and Hirsch takes the stand, what comes out could change everything. Not just for the lawsuit, for Kim's entire future. You cannot pass the California bar with perjury on your record. So here's how we got from a tape lawsuit to Jeffrey Epstein. The DOJ released the Epstein files starting December 2025. 3 million pages, 2,000 videos, 180,000 images. People were going through everything. At the exact same time, Ray J's allegations about Kris pimping her daughter were all over social media. TikTok took both things, put them next to each other, and the theory spread everywhere. If Kris orchestrated the tape for money and power, what else did she orchestrate? Online sleuths started looking at how the Kardashians built their relationships. Athletes, rappers, billionaires, politicians. The pattern people kept pointing to. Kris placed her daughters in front of powerful men, strategically, over and over. And they asked whether that makes her, in their words, the Ghislaine Maxwell of entertainment. Now, to be clear, Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for that is a very serious comparison. And there is no evidence that Kris Jenner did anything like that.
That's exactly what I was about to say. That is a big comparison, Maxwell to Kris. But I mean, maybe on a lighter level, still. Strong allegations right there.
But the internet is not interested in what is missing. It is interested in what fits the pattern. A victim complaint was actually filed in the Ghislaine Maxwell court case that does name the Kardashian sisters, but not for what you might expect. The filing alleges that the Kardashian sisters helped Maxwell use a victim's identity for fraud, that they helped use a real person's name and financial information to promote their own business ventures. The complainant admits they do not have documents to prove it yet, but the complaint is in the public court record. It exists. Then there is Kris's 75th birthday party, November 8th, 2025. Jeff Bezos' Beverly Hills mansion, $6.5 million. The guest list, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, Oprah, Tyler Perry, Beyonce, Paris Hilton. Bruno Mars performed. Police were called multiple times, and almost every single person walking in was covering their face. The timing is what keeps coming up. That party happened right as new Epstein files were about to drop. A lot of those guests are people whose names appear in Epstein-adjacent conversations. And so the theory circulating online is that it was not really a birthday party, it was a meeting. Powerful people in the same room, checking in on each other before the next wave of files came out. There is no proof of that, but the questions will not go away. Kanye West has been saying for years that Kris Jenner is the Ghislaine Maxwell of the entertainment industry. A former Yeezy staffer leaked claims that Kanye had gathered evidence pointing to Kris's role as a recruiter, connecting powerful men to young women in exchange for access and opportunity. And Kanye said he was scared for his own daughters, North and Chicago, because he believed Kris was planning to do to them what he claims she did to Kim.
Now, we did have a conversation about this about a week or so ago in another video, kind of talking about how Northwest is actually diving into the entertainment industry right now on the coattails or holding hands with her father, Kanye, as he's re-entering the space as well. Definitely a different type of video. If you missed it, you may want to go check it out, but it does give you the full details of that. But it is definitely a scary space to have your own children dive into.
Here is where it stops feeling like gossip and starts looking like a system. In 2008, Kris Jenner founded California Community Church. Members pay $1,000 a month plus 10% of their income. The church is registered as a charity, so Kris gets a 10% tax break every year. Whenever one of her kids needs a tax write-off, they donate to the church.
10% of their income. That's actually insane. This is a massive tax write-off or potentially money laundering situation. I don't even know how any of that works, but my point is, it's fishy.
Kim's eBay charity auctions listed that church as the beneficiary. Tax records show it pulled in nearly $45,000 from Kim's sales alone. Then there's the Forbes scandal. In 2020, Forbes pulled Kylie Jenner off their billionaire list. They said the family had inflated Kylie's wealth, and that tax documents provided under Kris Jenner's instructions looked like they had been forged. They compared what the Jenners did to Donald Trump's financial maneuvering. Kylie denied all of it, but the story they had been selling for years, the youngest self-made billionaire built from her bedroom, cracked. And once it cracked, people started asking what else was not real. At Kris's birthday party, there was one guest that caught the internet's attention in a very specific way. Lou Taylor, Britney Spears' former business manager, a woman with very deep Kardashian ties. She was there. And online speculation has linked Kylie Cosmetics' money to funds that disappeared from Britney's estate during her conservatorship. Again, no proof, but Lou Taylor, standing in that room with the Kardashians while the Epstein files are dropping, did not go unnoticed. And then there's Corey Gamble, Kris's longtime boyfriend. Kanye West has publicly claimed multiple times on recorded calls that Corey Gamble is CIA, that he was placed inside the family to monitor them. According to Kanye, Corey theory is the connection between whatever Kris is allegedly running and the people in power who are protecting it from the outside. You can believe that or not, but Kanye has been saying it consistently for years, and people around him keep backing it up.
This story runs deep, and there's a lot of ties to adjacent stories that either we've been covering on the channel, like the Britney Spears conservatorship that we had a video out on just a few days ago. You should probably check that one out. And just all of the other deeper ties to Epstein. One thing that I would say is that 75th birthday party, if I were a celebrity, it's one that I would not have wanted to be seen at. I predict we'll be seeing more details on that event pretty soon. And if you want to know more about how the Kardashians stole over $600 million from Britney Spears, this video breaks it down for you. Go check it out. I'll see you guys over there.